Hi, this is Brad Linder from Lenovo, and today I'm unboxing two netbooks, which explains why this box is so much larger than the boxes I normally unbox. That's a lot of boxes in one sentence, but let's go ahead and start opening this guy up and see what's inside. Well, doesn't look like we can save that packing slip, so let's just cut right through it. And first we have a Lenovo Ideapad S10-2, and second, a larger notebook, which is the Lenovo Ideapad S12. So let's set up here. These are demo units sent to me by Lenovo, so what I'm about to show you may not be exactly what the retail packaging looks like. Let's do these one at a time. Here's the S10-2. First we have a little box here that probably has the power adapter and some other goodies. Got a battery in here. Looks like a 6-cell battery, which should hopefully be good for at least 5 hours, maybe more. We'll put it through the test soon. And power adapter. Which I think some of the reports I've been reading from others say that this battery might be good for 7 hours or so, but we'll see. Looks like I've got a reviewer's guide in here. This is not something that most of you are going to get in your box, but it's a nice welcome addition for me. Of loose odds and ends in here. We've got a user guide, regulatory notice, free trial of Lenovo ID Vault. I think that's pretty much it. So here's the netbook itself. Set the case aside over there. And there it is. It's a pretty typical size for a 10-inch netbook. Fairly small bezel around the side of the screen, which is nice. Nice clean look to it. The inside definitely has a sort of plastic feel to it. Screen's glossy. You can see my reflection pretty easily in there. Keyboard seems pretty nice. The touchpad's pretty small here though, but you do get two distinct buttons on the side, which is nice, or underneath it. We've got a power button up here, what looks like some sort of arrow key. I'll figure out what that is later, and a button for quick start, because this particular netbook actually has quick start software which lets you boot into a before you boot Windows, you can boot into a quick start environment that just lets you access a handful of programs, including Firefox and Skype. And on the bottom we've got a couple of nice big access panels, including a RAM access panel and one for the hard drive. On the back, you'll notice that there's a SIM card slot behind the battery, which means that I don't know if this particular model can take has a 3G component, but some S10-2s will. And that's pretty much it for that one. So, let's go ahead and set that aside for now and take a look at its larger sibling, which is the Lenovo Ideapad S12. Now this has a 12-inch screen, so it's not something I would normally consider to be a netbook, but it has very similar components to a netbook in that it's got an Intel Atom processor, Windows XP license, and a gig of RAM. Got another one of these little boxes here. Larger power adapter, it looks like. And the battery, interestingly, looks pretty similar in size. I'd say identical in size. We just got a different color here. I guess by shipping a white S12 and a black S10-2, they figured they'd make it easier for me to tell things apart. Just in the notebook, but I'm going to set that aside for a second and see what else is in the box. looks like the same basic components. We've got the regulatory notice, a user guide, and a setup poster. Set that box aside. Take a look at this notebook. And it's interesting, it looks very, very similar to the S10-2, but the keyboard is much, much larger. The touchpad is much wider. It also has two distinct buttons, but the buttons are plastic, whereas I'm not sure if they're metal or just sort of a chrome type plastic on the other. This keyboard is probably one of the best that I've used on a netbook, but that's because, again, this is sort of a borderline netbook in that it's so much larger. We've got plenty of room on the side for accessories, including, looks like an express card slot. Two USB ports on this side, and an SD card slot. And a total of 3 USB ports total. The back does not have the SIM card slot that you find on the S10-2. So there are some differences here. Also, still have the RAM access and what I can only assume is the hard drive access, but it's actually a smaller panel on here, so we'll have to take that apart and take a look at it later. And just to get a little size comparison between the two devices, you can see how much larger the S12 is. So it's still relatively small for a notebook, but pretty large for a netbook. It's still pretty lightweight, though. The S10-2 weighs about 2.5 pounds, 2.4 I believe, and the S12 weighs about 3.4 pounds. So it's still light as notebooks go, but it does give you the full-size screen and the full-size keyboard. I'll be interested in seeing over the next couple of days as I test this out how well the Intel Atom processor works with the larger, higher resolution display. And that's about it for now. So this is Brad Linder from Lilliputiting, and you've seen an unboxing of the Lenovo Ideapad S10-2 and Lenovo Ideapad S12. Stay tuned and visit lilliputing.com for more information.